Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Carla with today's inspiration, and as always, I'm so happy to be here to encourage you and to remind you that you can live every day on purpose. Today is Tuesday, April 10th, 2018, that I am recording this. Love on me. Love on me. Love on them, love on her, love on him. That's a term we hear quite often, at least I do. And I'm the kind of person, I'm not crazy about little snazzy sayings and what have you. I really don't. And I don't, I'm not big on cliches. Okay. And love on me is one of them that I really didn't particularly like. I hear people say all the time, "Oh, I'm just gonna love on you." I don't know. Talk to me clearly and plainly, but I'm understanding it because I'm about to say that. Just stick with me. I um I ran into a coworker today at work. We work in different buildings, so we don't see each other every day. It may be weeks before we see each other. We may talk to each other on the phone because we need something, and we basically have the same position, just different departments and different responsibilities. But it all works together, and we all need each other. So many times we do talk. Uh, and I consider her a dear friend. That's how I look at her. And likewise, I met her back in 2010 when I was a supervisor with an organization. Um, and she was one of my staff members. Okay. And so that's how we met. But it was a temporary job. Okay. So after that was over, I hadn't seen her. And then I started working where I work at Job Corps. And she started working there about 2 years ago. So I started working there in 2011. But anyway, so we reconnected. Okay. And I love her dearly. She's an awesome woman, wonderful person, very strong, very efficient, very, very good in what she does. Please pardon me for all the coughing. Um, well, last year, I believe it was late last year or either early this year, she lost her husband. And I felt so bad. I still feel bad. I feel bad for anybody who loses anybody, but especially a spouse who loses another spouse. Now, when she came back to work, because she took some time off, very understandable. When she came back, uh, I ran into her again a couple of times, but honestly, I did not know what to say. Although I had told her I'm sorry, but I feel stupid. Of course, I'm sorry for her loss, but who's more sorry than she is? And I just felt like I didn't know what to say, and that's how I am. Yes, I like to encourage people. I like to inspire people. I like to help people, and I love words. But when it comes down to it, I don't always have the words to say. And and the way I am, I'm so emotional. Trying If I was trying to comfort somebody, I would be the one breaking down. Oh goodness, yes indeed, I'll cry in a minute. And how am I helping somebody else if I can't help myself? And if I'm in this devastated mode. Well, so I really have not said much to her in regards, other than, again, I am sorry, we went on. Now, her personality is a type, like I said, she's strong. And even before her husband passed, she would never cling on to a sad thought. Never. Um, and no matter how bad things may look, she said, "Hey, it is what it is, but I'm still smiling." And that's how she is. She does what she has to do, and she goes on. She's not gonna allow herself to express pity or sadness. That's just not how she rolls. She's not wired like that. But being a human being, I know she's got to be devastated and hurting. So I've learned of course, that we cannot treat everybody the same way. And I know that people grieve differently, people react differently, people do things differently. There's no right way to say to grieve. I mean, there's people, and this burns me up. When they would tell you, don't cry, be strong. They wouldn't want you to cry. And I say this, cry. If you feel like crying, you better cry. Because that's your natural reaction. And if you need to cry, let your soul, let your body do what it needs to do. And that might be the cry, but she's not like that. Now I'm not gonna say she didn't cry. I'm sure she cried. I'm sure she has many crying days and nights. I'm sure, but she's not gonna let you see that. That's how she is. So I saw her today. I was over in her office, and when she comes to mind, this is what I do, because again, my heart goes out to her. But I know she wouldn't want me to say, "Oh, I'm so," No, she doesn't want that. She doesn't need that. So what can I do to help her, or just not to make things worse? I can love on her. There's that term, love on her. So what I did today when I saw her, we were talking and she was doing things, fidgeting. I said, come here. And I hugged her. And that's what I do every now and then when she comes to my building. I hug her and we just go on. No words, no nothing like, I'm so sorry. I wish I could. I don't do that because that's not what she needs. And so my hugging her is my showing her love, letting her know I love her and I'm feeling for you and I'm here for you. And she knows that. And she takes the hug, she hugs me back, and then we just go on to what we were doing or talking about. Usually it's laughing. So, sometimes it is necessary to love on people, but know how to react to the different people. Everybody is not the same. I have another friend, another coworker. I mean, she's just a different person, but she knows I'm there for her. I check on her. How are you doing? You doing okay today? And that's her. Everybody is not the same. So we shouldn't put people in the same basket or the same bucket or the same package and expect them to act the same way. Especially, you can't expect people to act like you. Because like I said, I'll fall apart in a minute. I'm crying in a minute. But that's not everybody. And me crying doesn't mean I'm a weak person. It's just the way I react. That's how I express myself. And it's just me. It's just me, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong. It doesn't mean that, some people think because somebody's crying, they say, okay, for a funeral or whatever. I hate the sadness. I really hate talking about sadness. But let's just say, because I see this all the time on Facebook, especially with local people, first thing they say, well, I don't have nothing to cry about. Why are you crying? Well, you're crying because you're sad. You're crying because you're hurt. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because you're crying doesn't mean you're a bad person or you're a weak person or that you regret. That you're regretful. They'll say that too. They'll say, well, I did everything I could while they were living. I told them this and that, so I don't have nothing to cry about. Okay, that's you. God bless you. Godspeed. That is you. That's not everybody. So the person who's crying does not mean that they're less of a person. And they shouldn't feel guilty. You should make them feel guilty for crying. That is how they respond, they react, they grieve. That is their DNA, not just DNA. This is how they're, what is called the MO. This is how they're made up. Okay? So just love on people. That's the best thing. And like I said, I don't have the words. And I'm the wordsmith. I love words. I love words. But when it comes down to certain things, I don't have the words. And I feel so bad. But I've learned the best thing is to simply love on them and love on them in a way that they need to be loved on. Again, you can't do the same thing with everybody. As parents, we know that with our children. I have 3 children. There's no way I love one more than the other, or one is my favorite. I hear people saying that. I don't understand it. How can children that I bore, that I carried, that I gave birth to, how can I love one more than the other? I may have to treat them differently because they're different personalities. They're different people. They're different. For example, all 3 of my kids. Okay, I'm a mama. All mamas should be proud of their children and brag on their children. My children are smart. Okay, yours too. I understand. I know that, but I'm talking about mine. They are. However, they're different. Little Jerry, my son, um, I had to push him. He, that boy is brilliant. To this day, he's brilliant. He'll be 33 years old next month. He's brilliant, but he wasn't gonna push and try to make A's and all of this because he just felt, oh yeah, whatever. But it's in him, and I had to push him even to keep from failing. I had to push him, but it was in him. Okay, Tiffany is just the opposite. Tiffany is the middle child. Tiffany studied and worked her butt off, and she would cry. She would get upset if she didn't get an A in something. That was like stabbing her in the heart. She didn't get an A. Okay, and here's Anea. She's a little more like Jerry. Have to push her too, but she needs a little more confidence. It's not that, oh well, whatever. No, she just needs a little more confidence. So I build that in her. I can't just expect that she's just going to go do it like Tiffany did because she's not Tiffany. So I have to treat each one of them differently, correct? They're three different people, three different personalities. Come from the same root, but they're still different. Okay? So when somebody needs you, when somebody is in distress, or whatever the case may be, simply love on them. Okay, God bless you. This is Carla Next with today's inspiration.